Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us. Welcome back to the Rockhound podcast, and we are so excited this evening that not only have you joined us, but we are joined by a very special couple that we have not had on the podcast before. So I'm going to send it straight over to them to introduce themselves.
Hello, I'm Michelle of Outlaw Rocks.
And I'm Troy of Outlaw Rocks. How's it going?
Woo-hoo. It's going really good. We're so happy to have you here on the show. And we've got some crew here in the house as well that we're going to meet really quick. Kurt, who are you?
My name's Kurt with Rock.Hounding.Adventures out in western Colorado.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome in. And who are you, sir?
I'm a sentient pile of slabs.
It is so good for you to consciously join us this evening.
Yeah, it wasn't easy.
Piles of slabs. I know, like with full audio and visual. And he's not kidding. It was not easy. So little backstory to that. And I am Karen from Ozone Fire Adventures out here on the gorgeous Oregon Central Coast. And we are going to get straight into what's good with Outlaw Rocks. They do something very special. And so I'll go ahead and pitch it back right over to you guys to explain what special thing that is that you guys do.
Well, we mine opal in Oregon. We do fire opal, pink opal, blue opal. We have white opal, chocolate opal.
It's like 31 flavors of opal.
A bit of opal, yeah. And we did
goodness.
a lot of obsidian in the past. We used to sell that by the 20-ton containers. So
I think everybody should have 20-ton containers of opal.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Awesome. And so this opal that you guys fetch, don't tell me exactly, but where in opal land of Oregon do you find all of these 20 or rather 31 flavors of opal?
Oh, we're in southern Oregon. We're
South Central Lake County, in the mountains.
It's not too far from California, not too far from Lakeview, kind of in the national forest there. It's about 25 miles out in the dirt roads from where we live. And
we live in a really remote town. We're about 50 miles from a grocery store.
Yeah.
Oh, sounds like heaven.
Nice. It does.
We like it a lot. I looked out the window this morning making coffee and watched 25 deer across the highway.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's
nice to live here.
And then we get to we don't have to camp out where we mine. We can go to all of our mines and come back to our home and headquarters here every day, which is very helpful. But that's what we do. We dig mostly fire opal right now. So, and we got some pieces here.
Some little pieces.
So this is Oregon Fire Opal.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Looks like red jelly.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Jolly Rancher style.
That's a hot
good.
cinnamon Jolly Rancher.
If it's hot, but no, it's not hot. It's cold.
It looks good.
I'd call it hot myself. There's fire. There's fire involved. So I'm going to pop up a really quick. There's this image that people have in their heads, I think, worldwide. This isn't just a little small town thing that these guys are doing. Fire opal from here is known worldwide, and it's kind of, at least in my mind, and when I go to gem shows, this is what I think of is the beautiful honey colors of sunshine. You can see that there's a ring up in the corner, left-hand corner there. That's what it looks like when it's worked. And then you guys were just showing the some of the color variability that you've got. So some of it goes yellow, almost like there's green, isn't there? Don't you guys have like
It's yellow, but it does have
cast.
a greenish cast to it. It's kind of odd, and it depends on the light you're holding it in. You'll show someone, go, look how green this is, and then they'll take it outside and you won't see it. It's kind of weird
Color chain.
how it reacts to different light.
That's awesome.
Singing frog thing. And then and then all the way, into like an ember of the crazy volcanic stuff that lends itself to this thing. And that bending of light, it's opal. So it's a mineraloid, and it does do some really pretty tricky stuff with the light. And so how did you guys get into this this opal craziness in the first place?
It was a big contract came in. It was a partnership with a bunch of people, and we're the lone survivors. Kind of talk about much more than that.
But it goes back farther for you, right?
Well, yeah, the Fire Opal is kind of new for us, and we've been doing the Fire Opal about 12 plus years.
Something like that.
Yeah, but I'm a 4th generation miner. When we did a lot of gold mining and stuff when I was a kid and all that, we did construction and mining. So,
And I come from a family of coal miners.
Oh,
So it's-
wow.
Both of our sides, yes.
yeah,
cool.
actually avoided mining for a long time because I was made to do it. Like we grew up literally.
Gold mine. We both
I was constantly sat in a piece of equipment and loading a trommel or mucking out. We were digging ancient channel, which was pretty scary. I don't know if you guys dig an old riverbed. It's not real stable. And so, I've been trapped underwater by boulder fall with my regulator. Barely
Oh
any
no.
slack. A lot of stuff like that. And so I got out of it. But when I got into, when we were gold mining, I'd find a crystal pocket in the quartz. And I'd quit gold mining, and my dad would get so mad. And I'd just start digging all these crystals, and I'd make money off the crystals, and we weren't making any money off the gold. So I started digging gemstones. And then we started, finding out that you could actually make a living at it, And our first success started with the Davis Creek Rainbow Obsidian. So we were very successful at that. We'd still be doing it if they didn't change the rules. We were selling, like I said, by the 20-ton container, and we were doing very well.
selling all over the world.
Our biggest piece there was 2,478 pounds of solid color. And,
Wow.
That was a fun experience, but that led us into the Fire Opal, and the Fire Opal led us into the Pink Opal, and the Pink Opal led us into exploring and more. For 6 years, I hunted down the source of the Blue Opal. We finally found it.
Nice.
That's my favorite part, is the prospecting and going into the mountains by myself and hunting it down and finding the source. So if you can trace gold, you can trace gems. It's much easier. So.
Yeah, we have that wonderful hot spot that traveled through our neck of the woods, that ended up there in Yellowstone, and it left so many wonderful gemmies for us to find through this state. And also, it does seem like there's a couple tribes of folks that are into rocks and gems and all this kind of stuff. And I would say that all of the present company are in it because we're hunters and we love that part of it. And then we like to do something with it, But the thrill of the hunt is also good.
That still happens for us when we hit a good spot.
Oh yeah, we get that at the Fire Opal mine still. When you reach down and you can see you're pulling out a large opal, and you wash it off, and it's over a kilo clear red, your heart races.
My heart just races you describing it.
12 inches long. That happens every season at the Opal Queen mine. So like that one I just showed you, we find those every week.
That's awesome.
Not always that nice in color. You always get the great clarity, but it happens.
And sometimes it's big chocolate opals. It'll look like an eye.
So the chocolate opal runs with the Fire Opal, and get that and so this is our chocolate and caramel, and this is this red section here. backwards with the camera.
Yep.
But the red section can be, on the outside will be clear, literally red when you hit it with a light.
Oh,
Mhm.
wow.
Then we'll get chunks this big that are just pure chocolate. But if you hit it with a light, it's red. So when you cut them down, you get that chocolate with the red flashes.
It's more opaque.
Oh, it's like chocolate caramel. Like,
They actually cut it to look like little candies and
Uh-huh.
polish it.
Yeah.
And it
Oh,
looks
cool.
edible, like chocolate covered raisins and stuff.
Pretty
So
rock-
cool.
my dental work. As all of the opals, for some reason, like, yeah, my first visceral reaction is I want to eat it. Like all of the ones that you showed.
And with their
Yeah,
painted
So tasty.
raw meat. We hear that a lot.
All right. Gentlemen, do you have any questions to dazzle
So-
these guys with?
My question was, what is your favorite opal that you mined and why?
But it's going to be the blue opal. The number one reason is the fire opal's a mine that we took over. The pink opal's a mine that they were mining for something else, but we knew they were hitting opal, and then I went and found where the source was in this old mine. The blue opal's something that we hunted down and found completely virgin on our own. This is our own discovery, something we've been working on for years. And then when we had it cut and it came back with play of color, I mean, you know. That's a big bonus there. So I mean, you know, so you got. Let's see.
I had trouble with
He's
this
trying
too.
to tease us.
Hit the camera thing all wrong. But let's see.
I had trouble with this too.
There we go.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Don't drop it. Oh.
Wow.
So these are coming in geodes. So this is a geode heart, and then on the bottom, I cut it. It's solid blue opal. So it's coming in geodes. It's coming in veins next to the geodes, and we haven't done that much digging there, so we're still discovering all kinds of. We found clear blue opal there, a very small piece, like facetable.
Ooh.
And I just wish it would all turn to that, but
Yeah.
like crystal blue. And so we're not sure what we're going to find there. I'm only like 8 feet deep digging by hand because I'm hiking in. It's very, very remote. So
It definitely needs to be more developed. There's no roads or
no mines around me
Nothing.
at all.
It's in the middle
No
of nowhere.
other miners, nothing. I'll run into a rancher once in a while looking for cattle, or hunter
Yeah.
in hunter season, and that's it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's so funny when you just are nowhere and you run into a rancher looking for cattle. Like that's actually happened to us.
All the time. All the
Like we totally thought we were so alone. Like,
traffic jam around here is waiting for the guy to get his cattle across the highway. So.
yeah. Wow, but a clear piece. You
Yeah.
guys. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so
Clear color
There
play,
we don't know
blue.
where it's going to go. So when you're digging there, it's always the other mines we've dug so much that we know what to expect. We can tell by the color what's coming in the minerals. So, but the blue opal we don't know. We keep digging and just finding new things. So
Oh, that's fun.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
cool though.
Yeah.
it is. It is.
It's all
Well,
new
The
again.
pink opal is my favorite because we found it together as a company together,
Mhm.
and we took it to Tucson to the Tucson Gem Shows in January and February, like in 2017, I think.
Yeah.
And I'd advertised it a little bit. We get down there, and I can't remember how many kilos we had, but we sold it the first hour we opened our booth. We were sold
Oh
out.
wow.
There was buyers there from India that were wanting our material and made jewelry with the material, and we went to Texas and we were on TV promoting the material together, and film crew came and filmed us finding more material.
Like a mini documentary.
Yeah, and so that was like a huge adventure.
Well, that was a record for it was like 97 kilos that we took to Tucson, and she's like
We
Michelle-
sold it the first day, and then we had
First
like
day.
2 more weeks to stay
And-
there, and we had no material to sell.
and they gave
Oh
us
my
a
gosh.
contract that day the contract that lasted 4 years, and there's a giant line of jewelry on it out of Shop LC out of Austin, Texas. And
Yeah,
That's
I
cool.
was gonna
It-
ask you guys if you hit Tucson, and so not only do you, but you sell out like in the first hour.
well, that was our first Tucson we ever went to, and we were in a room with
Here's some of the
experience.
jewelry that we've sold, or they sold on the TV.
Oh yeah,
Those are beautiful.
They kind of cab it like turquoise.
yeah, like a
It kind
pink
of looks like
turquoise.
that pink shell. I can't remember what it's called. A pink conch or something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that
A
jewelry.
little bit,
Yeah.
yeah.
It
But,
is
really
lovely.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it
They
really
gave
is.
us a contract right there that day.
At first, we didn't believe they were who they said they were.
Yeah, we wouldn't let them have the material till their check cleared. They're
Yeah.
this giant company.
A buyer called us that we know, and he asked us if we were doing well, and we're like, "Why do you think we're doing okay?" And he said, "I just saw a bunch of buyers walking through here with Outlaw Rocks t-shirts
Like
on."
12 of them.
So we gave them all t-shirts, and then they were wearing them to all the shows.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That is. Oh, what a that's such a great Cinderella story, really. I mean, it doesn't happen. There's so many people who would love to be able to tell that story and never will, and have, been out there. I love the footage of you guys doing overburden, like just both
Yes.
arms.
Yeah.
It's all open. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's hard won. I mean, you watch any of your videos and you get the fact that you guys are just working super hard. So it's absolutely not a gimme. What would you say is the hardest thing about it?
Probably jackhammering basalt overburden for weeks on end to get to the material. You got to have faith.
Oh, no kidding.
You're removing tons of it a day and hauling it. Everything's uphill after you start digging.
And we do more of that than anything else.
You do. Yeah, that's what we mostly do is remove basalt.
Yeah, you said something like 90%. And what is it, the Kraken?
That big jackhammer, we call it the Kraken. Yeah.
And then you've got your muck truck, which looks like it really made life a lot easier.
Yeah, that'll take about 700 pounds up a 45-degree angle. It's a
Everybody needs that.
wheelbarrow.
Oh yeah.
It's our version of a ore cart, So we just keep a trail going down into the mine, and then I just lay sheets of plywood on it, and then we just track it out. So
yeah, you guys.
That's a lifesaver. We used to chain gang it. My son and all of his friends, we'd jackhammer and we'd load the buckets, and then we'd chain gang it out.
By hand.
Like 6 guys to get it out of the hole.
Wow.
That's how we
Yeah,
started.
that's really hard one, and you're buying pizza, at least for those boys,
We're all in good shape
Yeah,
back
they
then.
were in good shape.
Yeah, right. Everybody's in good shape from that. Definitely hard work. You guys have you were speaking, I think, before we started the podcast about being smart, like, work smarter, not harder, hopefully. And an innovation that I thought was really interesting was the vibrating.
Your vibrating table.
Oh
Yeah, the table.
Dinner table. Yeah, I made that because
Fire season.
the Pink Opal's super easy. The rhyolite just breaks apart, so you need to sift the opal out. And during fire season, we're not allowed to run generators or anything, so that's actually battery operated. So I made it so it breaks down, and I could take it out, and I could keep producing. And so we have that, and we have cordless jackhammers, and all the way up to like a 60-pound cordless jackhammer. And then we have some small DeWalt ones and stuff. So the forestry can't stop me mining anymore during fire season.
That's all approved.
Because they used to give me a fire waiver every year, and I could use my generators and stuff because we put stone walls around the mine and fire breaks and everything. And since we're removing the stone with a muck truck, we just dump it in wall piles and in big fire breaks.
Smart.
And that's part of working smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
And, And so they don't issue those anymore because of how bad fire seasons have been getting. So now we're able to work all season.
Oh, it's genius on a couple different levels. I was watching that, and like it's separating the material very nicely, and you've got it on the screen, so you're getting rid of a bunch of material. It's just you guys need to check out these videos, because I was like, maybe I need to like rig something like that for good ideas.
It's actually something I was talking with a few people about, marketing and putting together a nice metal unit, and stuff. But then with the COVID and everything, everyone got scared for investing their money.
Yeah.
So kind of died.
Well, I think that one of the things that I've really noticed, and did you guys go to Tucson this year?
No, we haven't.
Not this year. No.
We're actually not doing the shows anymore.
You probably don't have to.
No, we don't. When we go, we have appointments. We'll go for like 2 or 3 days, and we'll drop off what people ordered, and then we just leave and go to Death Valley and go hiking.
But we don't
Yay.
do this anymore.
Yeah.
The booths they go 2 to 3 weeks long, and you have to get a hotel room, and it's a lot.
It's a grind. So many people, and it's hard work. The reason why I ask is that it just really feels like this particular market, gemstone market, seems to be doing very well. Like one thing that I think that the kind of being homebound that COVID did was a lot of people just got into this as a hobby, are making more jewelry, are buying more jewelry. Like, I think that there's like a hunger and a real momentum in this particular field of interest. And so I'm thinking that your potential for creating some cool tools or wherever you want to take that will probably open up here in the very near future, just because people are getting back out and they're getting a little bit more buyer confidence and that sort of thing. And so I'd say keep that in mind.
What we've noticed, there's definitely a lot more people cabbing and tumbling. We're having to supply people 1-pound tumble bags that we're doing now because the request has been so much.
The same with the pay dirt bags. We're selling lots and lots of those.
Yeah, a lot of those.
People are buying them to tumble or for kids' birthday parties or jewelry making. So
that's another question. How does the fire opal tumble?
That was my next question. I didn't know you could tumble it.
It tumbles.
I didn't know either.
It tumbles amazing if you do it right. You don't mix it with any other material. Mm-hmm. You only tumble it with itself, and never use any of those ceramic tiles or any of that stuff. I use plastic beads, the little white ones, and I only use those after I take it through, grinding and shaping. When I get to the what I use, aluminum oxide for my pre-polish, then I put it in with plastic beads, like 50-50. And I only use vibratories. I don't use rotary tumblers. And then I'll put it in with cerium, and you can put it in with cerium because it'll be cold, but you can't cab it with cerium. So we were talking about that off camera.
Theo wasn't here for that.
Oh, okay. So
we can revisit that part when you do your show and tell, because you're going to have to make an information.
Okay. And then you do it with cerium and the beads, and I run it for about 3 to 4 weeks. I way over polish. Polish is everything.
You can't.
That's I'm the same way.
Polish is everything. You could have the best carving in the world if it isn't polished good.
Yep.
No.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
Okay. I'm going to have to pick up some tumbling material.
Go back to the rock shed.
Well, I actually use a what's it called? A spindle for like a jade carver. A spindle, and I carve stuff in tumble carvings with my other stuff, and they come out. So simple carvings. I did a Van Halen symbol, and I did a triangles and ovals and pendants and things. So Yeah, you just have to be patient.
That's a great tip, actually.
It is.
Yeah.
Theo, we need to get some vibe tumblers.
I need one so bad.
And
I've been making
Put that
way
on the
more work
list.
than necessary for myself because I've been on like a 2-month experience trying to rotary tumble obsidian, and it just now starting to produce good results, and would be so much easier with a vibratory.
it's glass and it's black, so
Yep.
you know it's going to be really tough. But if you use a vibratory, it'll happen faster for you.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I need to get one so bad.
And you got to there's a little bit of a learning curve. Like people will be really surprised how little water I use in that thing. You get too much water, it won't roll right. I literally don't even put the lids on because I check them 3 times a day, and I got like a water bottle with a hole poked in, so it just sprays a little. And I know the sound and how fast I want it to see it going, and it's mostly the sound. And you're just kind of lubricating it a little bit with the water to get it to roll again. Then you come back a few hours later. So it's a lot more work, but I use like 45-pound tumbler, so I get a lot at one time.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
That was really fun to see. I think in one of your videos, you have it might be the pink that's tumbling. I mean, that is like, I could watch that like for an ASMR video for hours, you know? It's so
People say
cool.
that about those videos.
It'll make you go to sleep if you watch it too long.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true. Vibratory tumblers sound so much better than rotary tumblers.
Yeah. Right. No shoes in the dryer, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what mine sounds like. The vibratories are like, that's just the sound of progress.
I was buying these really expensive ones and ultra vibes. And then when COVID hit, there was nothing available because I burned barrels out like you wouldn't believe. And so I went to Harbor Freight and bought their cheap ones, and they lasted just as long.
Yay.
$110 instead of $800.
I'm going to go get one.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. We just got a Harbor Freight. I'm not allowed to go in there yet.
I've had many Rockhounds tell me it's impossible to tumble rocks in a Harbor Freight vibratory, but I don't have a problem. They're putting too much water in. They can't get it to roll.
Mm.
And then you also don't want to put all the same size rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Like I save my opal chips, and I'll throw in a handful of those with it, so it gives it traction.
Oh, that's smart.
You can do that with plastic beads.
Okay.
So not everyone has an opal mine to get a bunch of
a tile grinder or something.
Yeah, I take the big boulders and I can polish the faces. I use one of those Makita wet grinders that they use when you put countertops in, marble countertops. They have to grind the seams on site, and it's a wet grinder you hook up to your hose.
Yeah, wet angle grinders. Like every household needs one of those.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I need one of those.
Yeah, I mean that's like a summertime activity for us though, because it's so wet. Like can't do really during the winter time. But yeah, that's definitely the way to get the big faces done for sure. Gotta love those. So Kurt, do you have any more questions?
I don't think so. There's just the tumbling and the opal, but I did not know Harbor Freight made vibe tumblers. So
yeah, they're for brass for gun. People who reload.
I see that now. As soon as you said that, I was like, I gotta look at this up.
The barrels are kind of thin, but they're lasting just as long as the thick ultra vibe. I know for an ultra vibe new barrel they want $300. So
wow.
Yeah. So and
that's crazy.
I can get 2 Harbor Freights and burn them up.
I think I bought the wrong Harbor Freight then. I got a rotary and it lasted 1 set, and I bought another rotary and it lasted 1 more set until the motors burnt out on both of them. And I was like, oh, these aren't worth. Apparently, I needed to get the vibratory, not the rotary.
Sizes they make like a small one and a real big one. I just get the real big ones because I have so much stuff.
The 18-pound one.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
and
looking
I'll
right
load it-
now. You
I'll
guys.
Oh
load
yeah,
it
yeah.
before I trim my rough opal. When we bring it out of the ground, it has matrix on it. Not every piece is perfect, right? I have to clean them.
Mhm.
I'll throw them in my rotary and clean them with water for an hour first, and then it gets a whole bunch of the debris off, so I can see where I want to cut better. I use them a lot.
I'll
Yeah.
have to get one.
So you were saying that you do a lot of hunting, and so do you just have opal eyes, or are you finding a lot of other stuff that you also have interest in? Like, do you generally rock hound, or are you like a mineraloid only guy?
I go out specifically looking for stuff, and I start with Google Earth, and I look at formations, and I don't. You go get lost a couple times and pull a couple muscles and go up the wrong draw. You start
Ugh.
learning.
Yeah.
You know. So no, there's a lot of research involved, all the
Yeah.
way back to looking up mines from the turn of the 1900s and all the mining records and stuff. We'll look at those.
Gotta
And then
love the
also,
Orban, right?
Yeah.
like everyone wants a secret map. An old forestry guy I know gave me an old forestry book. It's a book map, one of those, the map, and it's before they took off where all the minerals were in around 1940. So I got one of those that shows where all the minerals are, and that gets me close.
wow.
And I can see
Oh, cool.
there's this type of mineral here, because back in the 60s, they did a whole bunch of surveying through here with the colleges and stuff, and you can look up that stuff. So I've done that. And then, like I found a injection pegmatite, but it's on a big private owned ranch, and I can't get to the tourmaline.
Oh,
man.
That's right. It's green. It's
that's
green
the
tourmaline
rancher
right on
you
the
need to
surface.
run into. Howdy, sir.
Yeah.
Would you like some coffee?
And then everyone tells me I'm crazy. There's no tourmaline in Oregon. Yeah, there is. You just don't know where to look for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no problem believing that.
Yeah.
I don't either.
Y'all
Yeah.
got
It's on
everything
one of
else.
those corporate ranches. It's taken over by, so it's like thousands and thousands of acres owned by a corporation.
Uh,
All you do is you got to call this guy, then you got to call this guy, then and then it's just.
And then if they had a mineral that they thought was, worth something, then they would be like, beat it. Like, thanks for letting us know.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, yeah.
yeah, that's how it is in Montana. There's like an absurd amount of land that's owned by Cabela's and Mars, like
Mhm.
as in the chocolate, the chocolate company owns like thousands and thousands of acres in Montana. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I once in a while I get hired by companies to go find old mines, and one turquoise company hired me to go into New Mexico and find this old green Hachita mine. And I went out there, and it's like, I'm pretty much almost in Mexico, and literally almost in Mexico. And we find the mine on our second day, and I got 14 days. So we find it, and so I do all my GPSing and get all my coordinates down, and then we dig for a couple days to prove it. And we get all of our samples and stuff, and then we drive out of the desert and get back in the little town we're staying at, and I call my geologist and I give them all the information, and we're all so excited. And then we didn't know the rules in New Mexico. They give out square miles to big corporations, and they just hold the ground. And every bit of it that we went out, proved, and found was all held.
Oh,
Oh, no.
hurts.
And we were pulling out pieces as big as your fist, green turquoise.
No.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh, that would be painful to know about and not
That
be
would
able
be.
to go to.
We just avoid that area, because
Yeah.
it is. We know right where it is. It's sitting right there. They're not even holding the ground for turquoise. They're holding it for silver. But they hold everything when you hold the mineral rights. So.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's somewhat frustrating. Ouch. So do you guys make any of the jewelry? You said that you do some cabbing. So do you try your hand at any silversmithing or anything like that?
Michelle's a jewelry maker.
I make a
Oh,
lot of,
fantastic.
I sell custom pieces. We have an online store, but we also have a physical store. So I make a lot of jewelry for our physical store and for people that want something. It's mostly Fire Opal and Pink Opal.
Yeah.
Nice. And
That's
is
so
it
cool.
is it like silversmith style work, or what kind of jewelry making do you like to do?
It's more wire wrap jewelry.
Nice.
Oh, cool. I like
Yeah. Now you've swung into Kurt's department over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to do that in my free time, which we
Oh,
don't have any free time. Even in the winter time, we're gonna have free time, but we're so busy with trying to get our physical store back open for spring, and we're always busy for sure all year long, even when we're not mining. So
while I'm thinking of it, actually, so you guys do have the website, and you have rocks and the dirt. I want to say dirt bags, but they're pater bags.
You call it a good bag.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very romantic. But so you can buy rough there. It seemed like there was faceted stones. Where do people go to purchase your stuff online?
Outlaw Rocks LLC.com.
And I'm going to put that in the description so that you guys can hit a hot link and
I'm literally gonna go to that link when we get off
yeah,
of this.
run, do not walk. But yeah, like see the rest of the podcast before you go there.
Yeah. I'll wait.
Sorry. We also have a physical store in Bly, Oregon. If you happen to be coming through, stop on by.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, we'll be most certainly doing that.
me too.
I can't wait, actually.
We'll be offering feed digs this summer too, guided feed digs. Which
Oh,
So-
cool.
Yeah, tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I'd love to
Yes,
hear about that.
please.
So we tried it a few times last year. So it's not going to be like an open feed dig. You just can't drive there, pay $50 and do whatever.
Mhm.
It's you meet at the shop. I go up with you, and it has to be 4 people or more. And we dig. We bring out the electric jackhammers, and you can do some hard rock mining, or you can go through the telling piles. As soon as you open the door on the truck, I have a hard time getting people to come into the mine because they just start bending over and picking up the stuff
in the
that we,
drive.
it's all over.
Oh,
So it's a great time. It's a beautiful view. You can see Mount Shasta from it, and we're sitting on the ridge above Barnes Valley. It's a really beautiful place, and it's the Opal Queen Mine where we're finding all the big opals and stuff, and yeah, we're just going to start booking those here pretty soon. But that's where this is where we left off last year. There we go.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah, what a brick. That's fantastic.
So we give everyone a 2.5 gallon bucket, and they can keep whatever they can fill in that bucket.
Oh,
Nice.
that's so cool.
Theo's like on my list.
Yeah,
And
it is
so-
because I need to go back to Spectrum. I need to go back to Glass Buttes, and now I'm adding this to the list.
Well, yeah, it sounds like we've got our golf card of 4 then, right?
Yep.
Like,
Yep. Yeah, 'cause
Kurt,
you know
you're
Kyle's gonna
invited
join
too,
us.
but yeah, like that's,
So if I can
that's
get out there,
something
I'll
we're
be
gonna
there.
have to do. Yeah,
That's
party
right.
of 4. And so when you guys are ready, it's going to be on your website where you can book it. Is that how you're telling? Because our whole audience is like probably sitting on their hands right now. Like we want to do it.
We have people either contact us through our social media, through Messenger on Facebook, or Instagram or TikTok, or they can contact us through our email, which is outlawrocksllc@gmail.com.
All
And it's
right.
$100 a person, 4-person minimum. Like he said, we supply the jackhammer, and you keep 2.5 gallon or 2.5 gallon bucket. So, and it's about all day from like probably 9 to 3, 9 to 4.
Is
It's about a 45-minute drive from the shop there and a 45-minute drive back. But it's a beautiful drive.
Lots
and
of
that would be
Still
at the
bring the
Queen?
camera.
Yeah, the Opal Queen Mine.
So you'd be looking at predominantly what you would be thinking as far as the Fire Opal goes all the way into chocolate opal, right?
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, sign me up.
And you
What
just-
I'm doing this summer.
When we're mining,
Right.
we find all the colors at the same time, they just all together.
Oh, that's so exciting. There's so if you are watching the podcast, during our premiere, afterwards, or if you are watching this sometime in the future, these things their mining experience is on their videos, very, very nicely documented. And so they'll take you through these different mines that they mine, and you can see them pulling the material out. And when he was just talking about the variety of the different opals that they pull out, you're watching, you can see that like big chunky seam. And I just can't imagine the excitement of coming across that, and like you said, being like just reaching down and pulling up like a several pound
Just casually.
fire opal. I mean, that's just incredible. Oh,
Now
actually, I
we'll
think
we'll
this is-
stop for 5 minutes, celebrate, film it, and then go back to the other one. It makes your
Yeah.
heart skip a beat. But honestly, it does take quite a big opal to do that now. I guess it's like you get a used to it,
Right, but I think that that is cool though, that it still is not gotten old. Like your
Yeah.
heart still does skip a beat when you know that, like, okay, this is a big gift. This is a really good one. Oh, that's fantastic. So I think actually, starting with you guys, if you've got shows and tells left, or have you been showing us all of your shows and tells, or do you have a few more aces in the hole to show us?
Well, we got, this is from the, can't get it there. The light
Is that the
line.
pink?
That's that's the pink opal in a rhyolite matrix. From the
Lovely.
Pink Lady
Ooh.
mine. And this is what high grade pink looks like.
Oh,
Ooh.
yeah.
That's so beautiful.
I mean, yeah, and look at it must take such an amazing polish, like that must be so rewarding to polish. Here it comes. Yep, I'm seeing the reflection of the
And then
the screen in it, so it's good.
Can you carve it?
Ooh, wow.
Ooh, that's
Yeah, that's
cool.
stunning.
That's awesome. Did you carve that?
No, I wish.
Oh.
No, I can't.
Beautiful piece.
It is a very beautiful piece.
Oh, and I bet it cuts like butter, like for
Oh,
carving. Oh,
These are on
man.
display in our
Maker
shop.
challenge.
So when we were doing the obsidian, I lived 2-3 miles from where we were digging. I rented a place there, and all the nappers were coming because we were digging pieces that would fit one boulder would fit on one pallet. So I had some gifts.
Wow.
Where's
Theo,
Theo?
where's Theo at?
You
That
see
is
the blur?
Sorry, I had to deal with the dog.
Holy cow.
Oh my
Look at
god.
this.
Real good.
Oh, and you're totally
That's-
picking
Wow.
up the rainbow in
Have a
that
dragon
too.
attack. So
Or white wine.
That's insane.
I was gonna say that's a dang sword.
a nice ceremonial piece. This
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Ah,
That's so
gorgeous.
beautiful.
And then
It's
we
gorgeous.
display all this stuff at our shop, and we got a lot of other stuff. We got a 90-pound carving that's like a shell with fish coming out of it. That
Wow.
I sold a lot to Chinese carvers, and they gifted me that. Yeah, that's
That's
a
so
chocolate
cool.
opal pieces. Those are Pat Antuzzi pieces.
Just fantastic
That is.
work.
Shop
And
too.
what's that?
I'm sorry, we have those in the shop too for sale.
Cool.
Nice.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
they're just gorgeous. Wow. And so what kind of hadn't occurred to me, but of course it should have, is that the material is incredible to actually work. So you're seeing the napping done. I hadn't thought of the carving. I'm like really super into loving to carve. And so, oh my gosh. Yeah, it's it's exciting because you guys are bringing out rough that's big enough to really contain like an entire vision for a carving. And I mean, Theo also is really into this.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
thinking
rethinking my future purchases. I'll just say that.
yeah.
If you
I'm gonna need to get a big chuck.
you should research spindles.
Okay.
Like a jade carver uses. So when we first got into the fire opal, our first deal was with Jimporia. It's a pay channel in the UK. So they flew us to the UK when we did this big launch, and we did live shows there. And I did them with an artist. I don't know if you know Glenn Lair. He wins in Tucson a lot. Him and Dalen Hardgrave, and these are
Oh yeah.
okay. He's that level.
Okay.
I went to Glenn's shop in San Francisco, and he carves everything on these spindles. And like when you use a Dremel, you got your piece in one hand and your Dremel in the other, right? When you use a spindle, you got both hands on your piece, and the spindle's stationary, and it gives you much more control.
Nice.
Interesting.
So that's
Okay.
why I like it. And then Dalen Hardgrave, he does it a different way. He uses dental equipment, and he uses one of those microscopes with a TV screen, and then he's doing it on a screen with dental equipment. But
Yeah.
he's like next level carver.
Yeah, he's so
Yeah.
many levels above, like he's like on another planet.
He's like, yeah, I was gonna say he's
He's a
outskirts
super
of the
nice
solar system.
guy. Super nice.
Yeah.
And he's like 6'7".
And doing these miniature, scenes and stuff, and like on the back of faceted gems and stuff. It's just insane.
Well, Jimporia, and he went on TV to promote the jewelry collection, and I have a few pieces. I don't know if you can see it from
Ooh,
Jimporia.
That's
that's
gorgeous.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Well,
I got
Sorry,
chills.
It's hard to
But yeah,
Beautiful.
That is very beautiful.
That is
the jewelry
gorgeous.
collection is very beautiful. They call it American Fire Opal, but
Oh yeah.
That was an
Mhm.
interesting trip. They thought I was Crocodile Dundee
yeah, they
or
thought
something.
we were really exotic.
They kept asking me about fighting mountain lions and stuff. I'm like, "I'm just a mountain lion."
And how much we shoot at
Well, it was the obsidian, point that you had in between your teeth, right?
Yeah,
Awesome.
it's a fun life. We're real fortunate to do what we get to do, and every day is different. When Troy and I first started to live together, he told me it was going to be an adventure. He couldn't tell me what it was going to be, but our life would be an adventure, and it sure has been. We've been really fortunate. In the beginning we were selling fire opal, and that kind of went away. Then we found the pink opal, we found the blue. We've done a lot together with this company. I have an advertising background, so I created the logo, and I do all the branding and marketing, and he's the miner, so we make a pretty good combination.
Yeah,
Good
you
team.
guys are
Good
killing
team.
it.
Yeah.
we love it. Wow, yeah. Congrats to you. And thank you for those shows and tells. I mean, there's so much to see. You guys need to go over to the website and check out all of the artistry over there as well. You do a great job there as well. And we're gonna see quick shows and tells from the other the crew members here. Kurt, how about yours?
Where to go? So I'll show the Theo's work on the fire opal that he did for me that I purchased a while back. He did
My arch nemesis.
Yes, his arch nemesis. Beautiful facet.
Pretty
It's hard
color.
to. Yeah.
I need to redo another one for you.
Yeah. So
That one gave me so many problems.
it's, in my opinion, Theo, it's very beautiful, and I'm very happy with
Thank
it.
you.
So is Tess. So that's my show and tell. Theo's work.
So that's,
The other one broke. So
Yeah, it was the heat. And so tell
Yeah.
him really quick what he's supposed to not do.
So never use cerium oxide when you're cabbing on a fire opal, because when you put the cerium on there and you got it against the wheel, you're making a heat. It's making a heat barrier there, and it'll get really hot where the cerium is and connecting to the wheel. And you can do it if you're really, really, really patient with a really light hand. But the best way to do it is I use an expandable drum. I know a lot of people don't like those, but I use it and I switch out the belts with diamond pads all the way to 100,000, and I use an excessive amount of water. It looks like I'm taking a shower, I swear. It's just a lot of water, and then keep bringing that thing off the wheel and put it back and bring it off the wheel and put it back and bring it off the wheel, so you don't get a hot spot. And the cerium just tends to make a hot spot, and it'll crack you right up.
Okay. That is good to know.
It is. And so
Take 12 pieces and not break one now. Before I'd be like, when I was using the cerium, I'd be breaking every other one and getting so frustrated because you all that time and you get down and you're pushing it and then crack.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And so thank you, Kurt. We'll be looking forward to seeing the smaller cabs or earring pair or whatever it is.
Whatever it turns into. Some type of wire. I think I'm going to try to wrap those probably in silver for my first time using silver. So
nice.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing that. Thank you for sharing. And how about you, Mr. Piles of Slabs?
I have a slab from our recent trip to South Dakota. I got my best TP Canyon agate by like a wide margin. It's insane.
Wow.
It's so
Okay,
nice.
so the colors of Fire Opal, but in a slab from TP Canyon of agate.
Well, yeah, and usually they're like reds and pinks, but this one's got all the whites and yellows. And I cut a thin slab.
Really.
This might actually be iris, which is mind-blowing.
Oh, yeah.
So I need to polish it.
I don't know if it's allowed to be all those things at the same time.
I know, it's ridiculous. And it was funny because we only had like hour and a half, 2 hours to poke around. Really, we went to South Dakota to go to one of my favorite rock shops so I could stock up on my labradorite. So
this is
on our way out, we're like,
cast has just so you understand the level.
Yeah, so we just like drove by TP Canyon. We're like, well, I can't drive by this and not stop. So we got out and walked around for a little bit, and I found like a 10-pound TP Canyon agate. I kind of lost my mind. But yeah, the name Piles of Slabs is because I am working through I think we got like 116 pounds of labradorite that I'm still turning into slabs. And yeah, that slab's been running nonstop for like 2 weeks now. It's just, but yeah, this video is coming out on Saturday.
Awesome.
Check it out.
Yeah, looking forward to that, and looking forward to all of the slabs showing up on the live sale that you'll be doing so soon. Is that
very
Monday?
soon? Yeah.
Is it Monday? Or do we know?
It's probably gonna be next Monday.
Next Monday. Okay.
I vastly underestimated how much time it would take to slab all the rocks that I bought.
Really, Theo? Really?
I'm maybe halfway through. I have barely started on the 80 pounds of tigerite even.
More coffee.
Yeah. It's been a lot of
and
late
the labradorite. That's what I'm excited about.
Oh my gosh.
I need some labradorite.
Yeah, I've got some set aside. We got really lucky this time. It's like pretty much all spectralite.
Oh.
Very few blues, mostly reds, purples, oranges, which is like so not common for labradorite.
Yeah.
Sounds interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, it's some beautiful material.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing.
Of course.
And
Karen.
as always. So I got a parcel, but it was gifted to me, a very small little baggie of, I misplaced where the little baggie is, but just one of those tiny baggies of Fire Opal from somebody from one of Kyle's live sales, Miss Jules Tools. And I was ever so excited, but then Theo here had casted a bit of a doom shadow over working with Fire Opal. even though I love working with all the other kinds of opals that I've ever come across, there was this like
Me
issue.
too.
They had a fight.
That's why I called that one that Kurt held up my arch nemesis.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know
what I
why.
thought.
I've never had an issue with an opal before. I even cabbed other Oregon Fire Opals since then, and it worked just fine. For some reason, this one specific fire opal that I was trying to facet just would not take a polish, no matter how hard I tried. So I had like a day and a half just on the crown on that thing. It was so frustrating. I think it came out okay, but man,
It turned out perfect.
It was such a headache.
So after hearing this and actually going through it in real time, because like there was this like stream of like blue streak messages on our messenger, like, it was really fun. And so anyways, I was like, gee, I don't know if I really want to do this. And then you guys were coming on. I'm like, no, man up and take on this stone. And so this is what it looked like as a little piece of rough, because like I said, it was a tiny little parcel. And so I was like, okay, we'll like go ahead and take a shot of that. You could see that there's like a big old fracture, so I had to take that off. And then as I started doing the preform, I found even more fracturing. And so as you guys know, with the faceting of any kind, you're going to lose, at least like 60, 70, 80% sometimes of your stone when you're trying to get her down. And so this is what it looks like now.
Ooh.
And so I did the Triopic Blast by Andrew Brown, the Trillium cut, and it turned out to be 2 carats or right around 10 millimeters. And so, like it's actually kind of beefier than I expected it to be, but I did have to like right when I was working the shape, that's when I found the other fracture. When I was, on the, like it was already dopped and I was going around the outside and I was like, no. So, like you're working your girdle to make it, the size that you want. And like, it was going to be so good. It was going to be so big and pretty. And at any rate though, I was messaging Kyle, like, dude, do you know where you got these for the live sale? And he's like, well, I need to talk to the guy that supplies me. We'll find out. And he told me about 2 hours before the live stream that it was from you guys.
No.
That his supplier got it from you. Yeah. I was like, that's so cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I love your stuff, you guys. And we didn't fight at all. I did actually, it decided to liberate itself from the DOP during the pavilion stage. And I was able to reorient it because it was, the triangle. And I can't believe that I eyeballed it and got it. So, thank you so much.
Beautiful job.
And so, yeah, now like I'm already dreaming of what I'm going to set it as and how many more I need to make. And I don't have any more stones that are that big. So we need to be in touch, guys.
Yeah, I thought I was like, I'm going online after this.
Just love your stuff. And so once again, everybody in the audience is thinking the same thing. Where do they find you on the social medias really quick?
We're on Instagram. Michelle of Outlaw Rocks, Troy of Outlaw Rocks. We're on YouTube as Outlaw Rocks. I'm on LinkedIn as Michelle Shepard, Outlaw Rocks.
TikTok, Troy of Outlaw Rocks.
What else are we on? I can't even think.
Facebook.
Facebook. I have an Outlaw Rocks page on Facebook. And then we have our website, outlawrocksllc.com. And it's kind of a website plus our store. And but all you have to do is type in Outlaw Rocks on Google. It'll bring up all kinds of stuff.
Tons of stuff
of us. Mm-hmm.
And that's easy to remember, you guys, the Outlaw Rocks thing.
Yep.
All right. Well, we would love to thank you guys so much for coming on the podcast this evening and sharing your stories. It was so interesting. We can't wait to come visit you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thanks for having me.
been
All
fun.
right. And from all of us here at the Rockhound podcast, get out there, go find your killer scores, go hunting. And if you can't, do something cool in your studio. And we will see you next time on the Rockhound podcast. Cheers.